For the second kid-friendly, easy recipe, homemade salsa. Tomatoes are in season, they're beautiful. I have an obsession about tomatoes. I love them in any way, shape, or form. So this is a fun recipe because you can do it with any type of tomato you see at the market. Heirloom tomato, cherry tomatoes, yellow tomatoes, green tomatoes, whatever looks good. So what I've done for the salsa is I've put the tomatoes in a strainer over a bowl to help collect the juices. I've also taken the seeds out of the tomato. So for this one, what I would do is cut it in half.
Why not take the seeds out?
Good question. So I'm just going to put the seeds in my compost bowl. So by taking the seeds out, you're getting rid of a lot of that juice. So the salsa isn't like soup. It's more like salsa. So I just take the seeds out like that. I just coarsely chop it because we're going to use our food processor. So I'm going to use a food processor because that's what makes this recipe kid-friendly in my house. But you don't need to use a food processor. My son just doesn't like anything like super chunky and full of vegetables. So that's why we're doing it this way. So if you don't have a food processor, just make sure you chop everything nice and fine, mince it up. So once I get all the tomatoes in here, I just press them down to get all the juices into the bowl. With the leftover juice you have here, you can make it into a vinaigrette, add some oil and vinegar. You can add it to whatever dish you're cooking on the stove, a stir fry or a pasta dish. Or you can get rid of it, but I like to use it because it does taste good and it's usable in other things. So we add our tomatoes right to the food processor. Into the same food processor bowl, I'm going to add cilantro leaves, so about a 1/4 cup of the fresh cilantro leaves.
Why?
Because here, you can add this stuff. I'm gonna put this here. So this is how I like to store in the refrigerator cilantro or parsley. Just put it in a bowl or a dish with water with the stems and then lightly cover it with plastic on top, and it keeps in your refrigerator a lot longer. Then we'll add half of a small onion or 1 large shallot. So it would be half of an onion, 1 large shallot. I'm using a shallot and I just coarsely chopped it since it's going in the food processor. You want to dump it? A little lower. Yeah, good job. Okay, we have our tomato. And next we're going to add garlic. So I learned this trick from the cooking instructor at the school I work at. If you use a microplane grater, it makes it super kid friendly for kids to help out in the kitchen. It's a lot safer than using a knife. So I'm just going to take over when he gets to the end.
Why it's safer than a knife?
Because this isn't sharp. It's not going to hurt you. So hold the garlic with your hand. Yeah, like that. And you just run the garlic along the grater. Just watch your fingers. See? And now you're mincing the garlic. And then I just scoop it out into the bowl. We both washed our hands right before, right? That's the first step in cooking. You go to the sink and wash your hands. We did that. After the garlic, then we're going to add just salt. So I have half a teaspoon of salt.
Hey, I love that salt.
I know you do. Yeah. This is 2 tablespoons of lime juice. So dump it in there. Good.
Oh,
all right, so we have all of our ingredients in the food processor. It looks beautiful. And we'll add it right on here. And you can pulse it to the preference of your house. We like it here a little bit more pulsed. You might like it a bit more chunky, so do it however you like.
Hello.
Okay. All right, now once everything's pulsed in the food processor, that's it. So easy, so quick.
No, that is the greatest salsa ever.